Welcome all you Plus 2 comedy modifiers to another episode of the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. I'm your host as always, TV's Noah Houlihan, shouting into his laptop because his headset is broken, and hunched over awkwardly and poorly lit, shouting into his camera. So before we get to our very special episode with Vlad Radinov from CHIKARA, I have to explain a few things. First and foremost, this is our first episode that is going up on YouTube. There is a video podcast now, so if you want to see what me and Will and Vlad look like, you can click the link below and you can watch the video. If you're one of the people watching the video, you can click the link below and it's a little bit edited and a little bit cleaner if you just want the audio. So the choice is yours. You can watch and listen to both. It's really your call, and you can figure out the differences. They're slight, but they're there. So feel free to check out both of those things. Links are in the description. Also, we have a brand new thing we're doing. We are making all of our guests play the Nintendo World Championships. Hopefully by the time this drops, this is available on our YouTube. So the link to that will also be in the description below. And also, I have to tell you about some upcoming shows. We are going to be at Mag Labs. Mag Labs is September 1st through the 3rd at the Hilton Alexandria Mark Center in Alexandria, Virginia. So please check us out there. We'll be doing Game the Gamer and some stand-up comedy at Mag Labs. For more information, check labs.magfest.org. Do not go to magfest.com or .net. It's a catch-up commercial. Also, we are going to South Jersey Geek Fest. That is Saturday, October 28th for some cosplay pro wrestling. See all your favorite cosplay pro wrestlers at South Jersey Geek Fest. That is located at the Woodbury Heights Community Center. That's 741 Helen Avenue in Woodbury Heights, New Jersey. Head on over to sjgeekfest.com for more information. Also, that same weekend, that's October 27th through the 29th, we're also going to be at GameCon because we're crazy. So be sure to check us out there. That's at the Tropicana Casino and Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. For more information, go to GameAcon.com. Also, if you would like to sponsor the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast, then please check out our Fiverr store. Our Fiverr store is where you can buy a little quick ad for whatever you want to make me say, and it goes right into the podcast. So be sure to click on that. It'll be greatly appreciated. And now, without any further ado, take it away.
Who's ready for a podcast?
Oh, me.
Yes. Who's here to do other things currently being annoyed by a podcast? I don't think they can hear us this week.
Yeah, they're being
I think we're too quiet.
loud.
They're extra loud. This is the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast coming to you live from Gamers Vault. That's 175 Route 70 in Medford, New Jersey. I'm your host, as always, TV's Noah Houlihan, joined by the Natasha to my Boris, Mr. Will Liam. How you doing, Will?
I was going to say great. I'm all right.
You got downgraded in that sentence,
Yeah,
in
well,
the
I'm
middle of that
thinking about,
sentence.
Never going on the internet again, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been real terrible
It's
lately.
been, no news is good news. So
Nope.
throw your phones away and only use them to listen to this podcast.
Go pick them back up.
Yeah, go pick them back up.
Download this podcast.
Our guest this week is the Russian party czar, because he knows where the parties are.
Such
he
a
is.
great joke.
It's a great joke. It's a great, because it rhymes too much almost. It's too much of a rhyme. He is the ring announcer for CHIKARA Pro Wrestling. Please give it up for Vlad Radinov.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Vlad,
I'm
thank
very
you so
excited
much
to be
for
here.
coming on such short notice.
Oh, of course, anything for you, because I know your secret identity,
Ooh.
and so I'm doing you a professional favor.
Yes, thank you. We did have Razorhawk on, and the first thing he did was spoil my secret
I
identity.
listened to that episode
Yeah.
because I listened to the show.
Thank you.
And, yeah, he really just, it's a good thing you don't work under a hood because, he really blew it up.
Yeah, immediately.
It's hard to do
Immediately.
commentary with a hood on, I imagine. It'd cover his
Yeah,
mouth.
who knows?
He'd be muffled.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, it's very
So he
true.
really blew it up, so we all know
Exactly.
now. Sorry.
But, Vlad, we'd like to start with an icebreaker question. This is a random question sent to us by one of our modifiers. And this was sent to us by modifier Tom. Tom wants to know, Who are your top 5 Toms?
Top 5?
Top five Toms.
Wow, that's a...
Vlad recently on Twitter was asking for top 5s. So, top 5 Toms.
Toms. Wow. Okay.
Yes. I know there's a lot of Toms out there.
I don't think I could... I'm having trouble thinking of 5 Toms.
No, we
Yeah,
got
Selleck is
Selleck's
definitely
good.
on
Yeah,
there.
there's a couple good ones.
He was in all the Men's and Babies movies, so
Mhm.
he's in there.
Mhm.
I would say Tom Haverford from Parks and Recreation.
Ooh, that's a good Tom.
Ooh,
Fictional, but still
What a great
Tom.
Tom.
Still
Great
Tom.
Tom.
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones, good. Good.
Definitely.
Three Toms.
Vlad leaning away from the microphone to think better.
I was totally unprepared for this question.
It's tough.
To have to think of Toms.
I guess is controversial choice, but I'm going to say Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
Why is
Yes.
that controversial? I
It is
like Tom
controversial.
Sizemore.
He has engaged in some misbehavior, but he's a good actor.
He's low on the list.
I didn't hear
yeah,
about
he's
this.
probably like 4.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say my least favorite Tom is probably Clancy.
Oh.
You don't like Splinter Cell?
Nah.
Rainbow Six?
Nah.
Oh, I love Rainbow Six.
Is that 5?
I think that was 5.
I would say. I went with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tom
Tom
Hanks. How could
Yeah.
I
I
forget?
want to
Okay,
add,
Tom Hanks.
mine would also be Tom Servo.
Ooh, Tom Servo's real good. Tom Servo's very good.
Controversial opinion. I don't like Mystery Science Theater.
Really?
None of them?
The old ones is okay. The new ones, no.
I liked the new one. It wasn't as good. It wasn't like hilarious, but
But it was never going to be as good.
yeah,
They were ubiquitous on TV growing up,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and I liked some, but I do not like stand for them in the way people do.
That's
don't.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You
I
don't
mean,
have to love it.
I think the thing about Mystery Science Theater 3000 that made it work was, like, it was 12 at night, and you probably shouldn't be awake
Sure.
anymore.
Yeah.
But let's put something on TV. Oh, okay, cool. Luckily, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is on. I'll laugh and fall asleep to this.
That's what
Now-
I did with the new one.
Now that it's on demand, it's like
No, I waited
You-
till 12
till
at
you're
night,
in that, you have to be
and I
in
was
that
in
situation.
bed, and I would put it on and fall asleep to the movie. And it was an enjoyable
See,
experience.
Netflix should autoplay it. At,
Netflix
like,
should have a random button, a shuffle.
yeah, that's what I've always said about CHIKARA and the WWE Network. When you sign in, something starts playing. So if you're not really paying attention, it's like, all right, whatever. This
is great.
Fine.
Oh,
I
cool.
just needed
Killer Bee
noise.
is perfect.
Yeah.
I'm watching it now.
This is what I wanted. I also went Tom from Tom and Jerry and Tom from Three Ninjas. He counts as two
yeah,
Toms. He
dang,
counts
wow.
as two Toms. So.
And the tank engine as well.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a Thomas.
And I think that's all the Toms.
That's
Tom
all we
Cruise,
nailed.
and
We
that's
nailed them
all.
all.
of 'em.
We nailed them all.
Good work, everybody.
Tom York, is that a Tom?
I'm sure he
I
exists.
bet, yeah, I bet there's a.
He'd probably
A
be
Thom?
one. Thom.
There's Thoms. I've heard that name.
Can we make an exception for a Thom?
For
Yes,
a Thom,
I'll
yeah,
allow it.
yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Well, we make the rules here.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I like this. This is really fun.
So Vlad, you came over from Russia
It's correct.
and then ended up the ring announcer for CHIKARA.
There with a large gap of many years in between. Yes.
Yeah.
Like 20 years in between.
When did you come over?
Shortly before the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so that is when I was first exposed to wrestling in America. And yes, before that, I grew up on my father's rust farm just outside Moscow. He was a rust farmer. You know that, you know?
He farmed rust.
Yes, you know, like when you have like broken Soviet machinery that just kind of dots the land.
Yeah.
He would go with bucket, you
Yeah.
know, and collect the rust, and then you sell it for, you know,
What would they do with the rust?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's not
They
part of the
recycle
business
it
end.
into
probably made it
something,
into bread,
statues of
I'd
Lenin.
imagine.
Yeah, something. Cuts
Yeah.
the bread, yeah. We never ask questions, you know.
No, that
Yeah.
gets you disappeared.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, fortunately, we come to America, and yeah. So I've been here for a while. Is why my accent is so all over the place too, because you know,
Mhm.
you get me really tired or grumpy. You really comes out. But yes, and I was actually so I'm the party czar, and I party all over the world, and
But mainly Russia and America, it sounds like.
A lot of Russia, a lot of now all over the place as adults.
That's true, yeah.
As a child, I didn't really have a lot of mobility.
There was
It's tough
Yeah.
to be a party czar as a
income.
child.
Yes, exactly.
Not as much
Heavy
jet
is the
setting
head.
as a
Yes.
child, I'm sure.
But I was on a party. I was at a party, a crash boat party in the Caspian Sea, and the boat belonged to Ashley Remington.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
I met Gavin Loudspeaker, and
Yes.
he mentioned to me that maybe CHIKARA look for new ring announcer, and so, introductions were made, and
Nice.
I did my thing for them, and now I am the host of the fun-filled Lucha Super Party that is CHIKARA, so it's
Now-
a pretty good time.
If memory serves, you made your debut at Top Banana, right?
Actually,
No?
that was my first show as like official. You got the job.
Okay.
But I did one show as kind of tryout in November in Reading, Pennsylvania, and it was called Key Decisions. You
Okay.
can see it on Chikaratopia.
Okay. Fantastic service.
Interesting note, if you go to the profile of any of the roster members on chikarapro.com,
Right?
you can go to their page and see kind of what events and matches they appear on, so you can go to Chikaratopia and kind of watch
Yes.
those things that are available.
Mhm.
So, so that was my debut, and then I kind of transitioned to Top Banana. Gavin and I did a show together,
Right.
and then when we kicked off the following season, we believe it was National Pro Wrestling Day, and that was kind of my first, like, okay, here is, job is yours now, and
That's awesome.
and it's been almost, it'll be 2 years I've been with CHIKARA in November.
Yeah, and I remember I went to Top Banana before my friend Scott Holiday started getting involved.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
I think I met him.
So I went as a fan to Top Banana, and I was a big Gavin Loudspeaker fan. And I was there the moment he passed the torch to you. And like any wrestling fan that's very warm to change, I booed.
You were skeptical. You booed. Were you one of those guys chanting USA, USA at me? Because
That's a
I've
fun
lived in the
thing to
USA since I was like
But
6.
you sound different, and that's not okay.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder, like, if I am the nicest Russian guy ever in wrestling.
Yes.
Probably.
You're the nicest
Probably
Russian
nicest.
I've ever
Probably, yeah. There
I'm very
weren't
warm.
many very nice Russians in wrestling.
met. Yeah, they tend to be
Bad guys.
confrontational.
Yeah, rudo. Yeah.
Yes. I will say, to get a little off topic, I was a ring announcer for a show with Nikolai Volkov, and he had turned
Oh.
over a new leaf and sang the American national anthem,
Very interesting.
and then he got
Twist.
attacked. He got
Oh,
attacked
wow.
for doing that.
Yeah.
So I think we turned him right back off
No.
to America. He
Bye.
tried to get the smiles, but it all fell apart. But I wanted to ask, like, Gavin was a big staple for CHIKARA for a while. Was the transition tough? Were fans not as accepting as you would hope?
Actually, I feel like that people, there are always going to be people that don't like you. You know,
Right.
like just you can't please everybody. You could be the tastiest pickled egg in the jar, and
Right.
someone still doesn't like to eat pickled eggs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
no, I feel like most of the CHIKARA kind of like went on the ride with me. I was a fan of wrestling and CHIKARA before I kind of started working there, and so I think my excitement for how good the wrestling is and what the product and like what I think the company believes in and tries to put forward, I try to give that to the audience. So I think most people kind of tried to embrace me. I do think there was a warming up period for a lot of people who had been with the company for a long time. Because, you're talking about, he was the man for I think 8 years.
Yeah, quite
Long
some time.
And so, I stand on the shoulders of giants,
Right.
and you can't, it's definitely not a question of replace. There's no replacing him. He's an
Right.
icon. And so I just kind of have to go in and do my own thing. Somebody needs to keep the show going. and
Right.
so,
It's it's definitely better than no announcer. So people who
yeah,
like
sure.
Gavin,
Yes, you know how people are. Yeah.
Gavin was leaving. We had to have somebody. But I think you're great. I love.
Yeah, Noah thinks you're
appreciate
better than no one.
That's great. Yes,
Yeah.
I think you're
High
better.
praise.
I think if he was rating CHIKARA ring announcers, I obviously am not one. So Great.
You're in the top 2, buddy.
And I'm the Partizar is honorary title. I beat the old Partizar in a dance contest. It's kind of like you're familiar with Highlander?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's kind of like that. So I beat him in a dance contest. I'm the new Partizar.
Oh, I didn't know there could only be
you
one
didn't have to
Partizar.
decapitate him and get his power?
Okay, I lie. It was not dance contest. It was eating contest. But you have to take your wins where you can get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, so you ate him and decapitated him?
No,
Is that
no,
what I
no,
was supposed to
neither.
draw
That's
from
what he's
that?
saying, yeah, that he ate him. So is there a Partizar quickening now?
No.
You shouldn't have brought up Highlander. I know a lot about it.
That's very true.
You know how many novels there are?
Do you know my American high school, Highlander was the mascot of the high school, no joke.
No way.
Well, you know that,
Not like the head cut off one, but like the
like an
Braveheart
actual
one.
Highlander.
Yes, like killed.
because they say that's like a country. That movie's not about.
Right. Yes.
Oh, it wasn't the movie Highlander. It was just the
Yes.
Highlander.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. We were the Bravehearts.
See, I would like it if it's like, give it up for the Highlander basketball team.
The
and
Central
one
High
person
Mel
comes out.
Gibsons.
I can't remember the guy that played Duncan
McLeod?
McLeod now. Yeah.
I can't think of it either. Christopher
Yeah,
Lambert.
Christopher
Thank you.
Lambert.
Perhaps you're familiar with a Christopher Lambert vehicle called Highlander.
Or his even less successful Beowulf 2000.
Oh, I am not familiar. Next
Oh,
question.
you should not watch it.
Yeah, it's probably for the best that you're not
Oh,
familiar with it.
it's a terrible movie. I bought it from Blockbuster for $1.
Overpaid.
Yeah,
Overpaid.
too much.
That sounds like a party.
So now, are you constantly like being challenged to eating contests as people try to steal your czarness?
No, because I escaped to America, and really is kind of secret here. Like I really brought the
gotcha.
Partizar to
But you
America.
announce it all the
I'm
time.
expatriate. Well, yes, but they would have to come to Russia and get me, and it's expensive flight. You know,
Yeah.
it's fine.
And speaking of expensive flights, you have one coming up, as
I
King
do.
of Trios is coming up.
Yes, it is the 10th King of Trios.
Is it really only
It is
been
the
10?
10th. It's the 10th. It's hard to say anniversary because it's not. It used to be in. I guess the anniversary. Yeah, it's the 10th one. So it's the 10th anniversary of King of Trios, and it is for the first time going to be in beautiful Wolverhampton, England.
Yeah, which I think is amazing because 2 years ago I had Mike Quackenbush on this show, and it was before King of Trios was announced, but it was announced that there was going to be an England tour, and I was like, Mike, you're not going to do King of Trios in England, right? Because I want to go. And he was like, nah, that would be impossible. We could never do King of Trios in England. And here we are 2 years later, and that's exactly
he
what's
really
happening.
didn't want you to go. I think it's
Look, I will say I am grateful for all the opportunities that CHIKARA has provided for me. I have gotten to work with some world-class talent or from around the world. It is a harder thing than people realize to travel for wrestling because you're when we went tour on England, you're in buses for a long time.
Yeah.
You are in hotel rooms with maybe like 4 guys.
Yeah.
So is glamorous to be able to say yes, I'm going to England for my second wrestling trip to England. No
Yes.
big deal. I've been to 5 countries. I got trapped in Canada when we went to Canada.
Trapped there?
My flight to Philadelphia got canceled, and so like I was on my way. We were in cafe, me and my Zarina. We were in cafe having coffee. We're about to go to airport. We get an alert on our phone. Flight canceled. And so it's not the touring is
Canadian
fun,
now.
but it's not. Sometimes it's not as glamorous. You know what I mean? Like as glamorous as you may think it is.
Because you're going to do England for your second time, and I'm going to assume you've seen none of England.
I've been to England many times
Oh, okay.
personally, so I've seen all of England.
Okay,
Excuse you.
yeah. You do know where the parties are.
I do. So, no, but more to your point, like, there are I would love to catch a Wolves game while I was there, like go to a soccer game. I'd love to get a tattoo in England. I'm going to see one of my oldest friends when I'm there. He'll come to the King of Trios, and so I'd love to do that kind of stuff. But literally, I think we land the day the tournament starts. So we get off plane, we have a few hours, and then boom, we make the biggest tournament in independent wrestling. So
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because we live that life a little bit doing +2 comedy. No, I mean it's like a.
Well,
I don't know why you're laughing.
It's like, yeah, we live that life too. There are times where we have to go to like Lancaster.
No, what I mean, because like I think the
Bayonne,
farthest
New
we-
Jersey.
Yeah, we went to Chicago one time, and people will ask me what Chicago's like because they hear it's beautiful, and I'm like, we drove past a body of water. Could have been a Great Lake. Don't know.
I have no idea.
I could tell you what the convention center looks like.
Yeah.
And then we drove back to an airport.
Yeah. I've been to Paris. I've never left the airport, but I've been there.
You grab those little times when you can. There was one day when we had a little extra time in the morning before we had to meet the bus. So I got up early. I got breakfast for everybody who was in my room. Walked around downtown Wolverhampton for a while. Brought it back. And but you have to. I think, especially if you're traveling with like a purpose, like convention, or you're doing comedy, or you're going for wrestling, you have to try to build in even that 45 minutes, that hour, like where you can, and do one little thing, like get a picture.
Yes.
You know, do something
Yeah, we
touristy.
punched a dinosaur once.
Yeah, because
yeah,
when you
that
go
was
home,
good.
what are you going to say? Like, oh, I was in the ring forever, and then I
Yeah.
went to sleep. So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see.
Yeah, anytime we do anything with +2, it's always like we have to go to a good restaurant.
Mhm.
That's one
Yeah,
thing that
oh,
we want to
yes.
do.
That
Because
would be nice.
Will will tell you I'm the guy that's like, we don't have time, let's go get McNuggets, and then Will wants to kill me.
I was going through some stuff.
I am sometimes very similar. Like when we were in North Carolina recently for a couple shows, which are also now available for purchase, I believe, on CHIKARAPro.com. And people wanted to go to Cookout. It's a great place, you know,
Right.
great milkshakes after the show, and everybody's talking in the parking lot and having their burgers, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're going to see everybody tomorrow at the Wrestle Factory. Just get in the car, let's drive home. That's 7.5 hours from North Carolina. Let's go. So I can understand. Sometimes you just want to put chicken nuggets in your face and drive overnight back to Philadelphia.
Yes. I'm definitely the guy that's like, no. What can we eat while I'm driving? Sandwiches, no. Too messy. Let's
What
go.
fits in between my thighs that
Yeah.
will hold?
Smoothie,
Yeah,
please.
exactly.
So I don't even actually have to have a drink either. Perfect.
What will let
Let's
me
hit the
get out
road.
of the car with minimal mayonnaise stains?
Yeah, exactly. So what are you looking forward to, though, in terms of Kings of Trios?
I mean, it is. The feeling is unlike any other event-wise. You have all of these talents from around the world. If you think about 16 teams, 3 wrestlers apiece,
Yeah,
just the
explain
first
what
night.
King of Trios is to anyone that
Oh,
might
sure,
not know what
sorry.
it is.
Yeah, I just assume everybody is very inside baseball.
This is baseball?
Keep up. Okay.
I know nothing about baseball.
Okay, so King of Trios is the biggest tournament in professional wrestling. You have right now 16 teams. That is usually the standard amount. 16 teams of 3 wrestlers apiece from all around the world, and they will, over the course of 3 nights, wrestle until only one is crowned the king or queen of trios. Last year
One
it was
team?
one team.
Okay.
Yes, so they wrestle in 3-on-3 matches, 3 people against 3 people.
Tag match or a...
Right, a trios match.
Okay.
So tag is 2, trios is 3,
All right.
Atomicos
Some
is
people
4.
like me are
Yep.
dumb and don't know
No, that's
anything about
okay.
wrestling.
Oh, I didn't realize you weren't a fan of wrestling.
No,
I'm
I'm a
sorry.
fan. I just
You
don't
have a
know
lot of
anything.
Yeah, he's
you
just
have
dumb.
a lot of wrestlers on your podcast for
Yes.
someone who doesn't like wrestling.
I
Poor you.
have
There's nothing worse.
I have wrestled more than once. Know nothing about it.
Awesome. Okay. So, yes, trios. It comes from Lucha Libre.
It's
wrestle each
when
other,
there's
it's great.
a 3 of things.
No, last year the Queen of Trios, first ever Queen of Trios, first ever all-female
Yes.
team to win. Meiko Satomura, Dash Chisako, and Cassandra Miyagi, the Sendai girls from Sendai, Japan. They are a female wrestling promotion there. Meiko Satomura is like a living god of like wrestling. She is amazing.
Unbelievable.
She'll be wrestling a relatively new team from Chikara, the Cyberhawks 2000, Razorhawk.
Yes, Razorhawk.
So
friend of the show?
Razorhawk will get to wrestle Meiko Satomura. Pretty cool for your first
Yes.
King
Yeah.
of Trios.
Yeah, to fight
It's
the
like a
defending
legend.
champions.
Yes, yes, exactly. So good luck in the first round, boys.
Yes.
Caw. I don't know if that's going to happen. No, they are amazing. They I will say that as far as rookies go, if you look at where they are now, Razorhawk, of course, is Young Lions Cup champion.
Yes.
Silverhawk, also very talented.
Former Young Lions Cup
Former
champion.
Young Lions Cup champion. I mean, that right there, you give these guys a couple of seasons of seasoning, and you could really be dealing with some pretty serious contenders come another King of Trios. So we will see.
not
They could
this
do
one,
another.
obviously.
This one, they're going to get wrecked.
I'm
they're
saying
d-
that.
they're done.
I think they have a fighting chance. Oh God, I'm already fired. The Sendai Girls are the champions. Okay. It's a very exciting tournament. You get the mashup of styles. We have some. England is a hotbed of professional wrestling right now. The talent coming out of there is world class.
Very true.
Evident in what's going on right now in some of the major televised wrestling promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in King of Trios, we'll have WWE UK champion Pete Dunne.
Yes.
Trent Seven, former WWE UK champion Tyler Bate.
Yes.
They have been in King of Trios before, and they could also be considered one of the hot favorites.
Yeah, I would say so. Hometown, like home turf advantage.
See, I would imagine English wrestlers to be exclusively in unitards and training with triangle weights.
Maybe like turn of century, but
Not anymore?
No, not
I
so
wouldn't
much
be
anymore.
surprised if Tyler Bate works out using one of
Yeah,
those
that
machines
may be
that
his
wraps around
aesthetic,
his belt
sure.
and
Just
shakes him.
shakes.
Yeah.
That man is a talented person.
Yeah. he is so talented that simply standing next to him makes you feel bad about yourself.
Totally, 100%. And
Yeah.
he is like probably over a decade younger than me.
Yes.
So great.
Yes, yeah, exactly. His
done a lot.
his
I've accomplished
finishing
a lot.
maneuver, just to put this in perspective, is the Tyler Driver 97 because that's the year he was born.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Young people shouldn't be allowed to do anything.
Yes, also former Campeonatos de Parejas, that's the tag champs at CHIKARA.
That is correct. And with his
Never lost
partner
the
Trent
titles.
Seven. No, vacated for time limit of defense.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. We'll see how they match up in the tournament. But King of Trios is not only just the Trios tournament. Starting night 2, we do the Rey de Voladores, which is the King of the Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
So we invite several high-flying wrestlers from around the world to compete in 4-man eliminator matches to
Right.
start.
That's
And,
four people.
That's 4 people, 4
Okay.
singles wrestlers, kind of every wrestler for themselves. And that continues on night 2. Eventually, it will work its way down to a 1v1 match. Last year,
Yes.
it was won by Aerostar.
Yes,
He was
indeed.
the Rey de Voladores. And I believe he wrestled Tony Nese, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
in the finals.
correct.
Yes, so
Correct.
so you see the kind of caliber people we get at King of Trios. It's going to be a party unlike anything England has ever seen. CCK, Chris Brooks, Kid Lycos, and a gentleman named Elijah, who looks very, very scary, and I will stay away from him in the ring.
Is that his whole
They're a
name?
big
Because it
team.
should be.
I'm pretty sure.
A gentleman named Elijah.
And they're a very popular, very talented British team. They've won titles all over the world. They are going to be there. Some of our own homegrown talent, the Furies, Travis Huckabee,
Right.
Solo Darling, Fire Ant. I mean,
a
Travis
great
is a
team.
relative rookie,
Yeah.
but that is, yes. I mean, you really just don't know how it's going to shake out. And I think
Aside from Cyberhawks getting destroyed.
no one said destroyed.
It's been-
You are
I mean,
putting
you
words in my
basically
mouth.
implied that they had no chance.
Look, man, I know KGB people. Don't get me in trouble and fired.
We're not trying to get you fired. We just know
No, I understand.
that out of everyone in King of Trios, Razorhawk is the most likely to listen to this.
This is not Vlad Radinov.
Oh, you should have
This
changed your
is-
voice.
Jim.
Or you made it more Russian.
Oh,
Yeah, you should have turned up the Russian.
you are implying that this is not my natural speaking voice.
No, but
you,
somehow you made it even more
Yeah.
Russian.
you went with a different Russian, like Cockney and normal British.
Yeah, whatever the Cockney version of
Standard
Russian
British.
is.
Razorhawk is an extremely talented wrestler.
Yeah.
You're laughing. I believe this. He is our Young Lions Cup champion. He
Yes.
is one of the most talented rookies I think the company has seen in quite some time.
Absolutely.
Nobody holds gold that quickly. I mean, the amount of matches that he's had to see where he's wrestling around other places, he's being invited places. He can fly. He has a real mind, a hunger.
Yeah, it's
And,
amazing you think so little of him.
I
With all of these accomplishments he's achieved.
You're going to cause problems for me in the locker room. I'm going to have to quit. I'm going to get beaten up
Yeah, and he
by
could
a
probably- he could
possible
do it.
robot from
yeah,
space.
he's got a
So he is a
hunger.
robot. I knew it.
I didn't say
I
robot.
knew it.
I said possible robot.
You've admitted.
You really think they tell me anything?
It's all classified. We established that.
But
They
you know
basically wipe the
KGB
hoagie
people.
crumbs off my face, point me at the ring, and say, "Go yell." I don't know anything about anything.
Well, one thing that I love about King of Trios on night 3 is, of course, the tag team gauntlet, where 2 teams will start, and then once one is eliminated, a new one will come out, and you don't know how many teams are in the match. And it's interesting that you're all sharing a locker room, but there are so many people back there that you can't know.
You just don't know who's going to come. Last year at the end, Billy Gunn and X-Pac, the 1, 2, 3 kid,
Yes.
DX,
DX
Wow.
won
out of the locker
gauntlet.
room. Yep.
Yeah.
So you never know. I think that is an underrated part of trios. I love tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
And the current tag team champions, Los Ice Creams, first teams announced for
Yes.
that one. So we'll see what happens there. But the nice thing about the tag gauntlet is if you can get 1, 2, 3 and not get pinned, you could get 3 points conceivably in one night and be ready to challenge for those titles. So
Yeah. It's very dangerous for the Ice Creams to be in that match.
look, it's
A
our
lot of
biggest-
hungry teams.
It's our biggest party of the year. We're taking it international. Saturday afternoon, we do the fan conclave where all the wrestlers hang out. We play games. We
Right.
had a No Mercy tournament last year with actually a friend of mine actually won. We have contests and fan interactions. Take usually a photo booth, things like that. And then on Sunday we're going to crown. We're going to out of all those wrestlers. We're going to crown 3 as the kings and queen of trios.
Yes.
Anybody but Cyberhawk.
It's going to be a blast. They're going to run the table, and then they're going to leave me in a dumpster in England. I'm totally fired. I'm not going. They're going
think
to
it's
make
a
me
rubbish
change in the
bin over
closet.
there.
You know that, right?
They're going to give you the Miz treatment now.
I put on all this finery. They're going to make me change in broom closet.
Well, we like to geek out on this show, and we do it with a segment called What You Watching, What You Reading, What You Playing. It's where we talk about what we're watching, what we're reading, what we're playing. Vlad, you're new to the group. What have you been watching?
Okay, I have found so there's a lot going on right now, just in the world in general.
Yes.
I have found the lowest stakes show I have ever seen in my life.
Ooh, low stakes.
It's on Netflix. It's only 1 season. It's from Canada. It's called Reno My Reno. And the premise of the show is they fix minor cosmetic problems for friendly Canadian couples at their lake houses.
Wait,
And
what?
it is the most low-stakes show I've ever seen. They're not in any financial danger. They're not crappy real estate flipper gross people. They're just a nice little Canadian couple who got in over their head on a DIY project, and they just want to have their friends over to their lake house for a little barbecue or cookout or something.
But the door frame is askew, and they can't get it to
Exactly.
close.
This
It's
guy
always a
really
lake
needs to
house?
learn how to cut. I have not seen anything yet that hasn't been just a
You
quaint.
think they just filmed it all
small-
in one lake?
I'm not talking about like big elaborate
Mhm.
fancy. I'm talking about fishing hut. It is the most low stakes show I have ever seen in my life, and you can kind of just put it on, and it's like a lullaby that you can go to sleep to. But
Do they do a reveal? Where it's before
Oh, yeah.
it
Oh,
made
yeah.
a banging noise when you tried to
I will
enter
say
the
the-
cellar.
So it's 5 minutes introducing the couple and the problem at the beginning. There's a 5-minute reveal in the end, and I would say the bulk of the show, the 19 or so minutes in the middle, is just a Canadian carpenter teaching a lovely Canadian couple how to joist. and they'll get it because they're trying and they're hard workers and they believe in themselves. And that is the whole show. Like, we put on a balcony. Great. There's also, I don't know how much time we have for this
You're
segment.
good,
It's
so
fine.
there's also something I found. I love British television, and Netflix lately has been buying a lot of like bulk, like terrible crap,
Yeah.
like British television, just like anything with a British accent they'll put on there. And they put on their show, it's called Scams. And
Scams?
okay, it is this British reporter who goes around the world to like Mumbai or Paris or Barcelona or Amsterdam and tries to see what kind of scams the locals run on the tourists. So is it like, is it the gladiators at the Colosseum who like take pictures and then want money? Is it like the taxi driver who knows that you don't know the area, so he takes you like on a little trip? Or is it like the passing the fake note scam where like you give a taxi driver a 20, he pulls out the counterfeit bill and say, hey, this bill's counterfeit, you pay me, and then you actually pay him, so now you've paid him $40 instead of 20. But so the point is this guy is like undercover, so he has like button camera.
Yeah.
But his idea is he wants to like this, like, for one, it's totally exploitive of like poor people in all of these
Right.
countries who literally have like who a lot of times have like no other choice,
Yeah.
like children on the
This
road
starving
in Mumbai,
man robbed
India,
me
like
of my
whatever. Yes,
five.
exactly. So that right there is totally exploitive. But the kind of point is that like he sets himself up like a honeypot to like become a victim of all these. So it's just a British dude getting like getting run over by a train of like pickpockets and flim flam mans. That's my best British accent. But yeah, he just like, I've just had 2 wallets stolen on purpose.
We haven't even started filming yet.
And yeah, he always punctuates it by saying scams.
That might just be how he talks.
That is all I know, British accent. I can only do it because I've been watching so much of the show where a British guy just gets his pocket picked for 20 minutes.
It's just him walking up to pickpockets and like, oh, my shoe's untied.
Uh,
Oh.
Oh my!
But to also be serious, I've also really enjoyed recently Difficult People. I like that a lot. That's on Hulu.
Yes.
And probably not appropriate if you're not 18. And also Catastrophe. I've been catching up on this show called Catastrophe. I think it was on Amazon. It's on Amazon originally. It's Rob Delaney and Sharon Hogan, who is an Irish comedian I like. She also wrote another show I really liked called Pulling. And it's about American and an Irish woman who meet in London, and they wind up like married with a baby, kind of all of a sudden and by accident. Yes. Well, the baby comes, and then it's okay. But it's really fun. It's really funny. Their comedy is really good. So that's So if you want something uplifting, I recommend those ones.
I think I'm going to be watching a lot of scams. So I don't know if
I'm telling you tonight, watch it. It's just
sold
a dude
on
who's just like.
At the end of the day, he's like, "Well, we've stolen all your, artifacts, and they're all in our museum." So
Basically,
I
you would
still
not
win.
believe the amount of fake statues he buys.
No, I'm saying that the British have just stolen everyone else's.
Oh, sure, yes, of course. Come see them at the
historical
Tate
art.
Gallery
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can come look at them. Don't touch.
Yeah.
Don't touch them.
Going to do a big
I'm
scam.
going to
We're
England,
gonna
so
go
let's-
to Africa and ruin their economy.
Let's ease up on the colonialism. I'm going to.
Well, they've done some terrible
England.
things, so. And they love when you call them out on it.
Oh, yeah.
King of Trios. Get your tickets now at CHIKARATix.com.
Well, before we continue to do this bit, because it's too much fun, have you been watching anything good?
Well, I'll talk about it because Gen Con's this weekend, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It's going on right now. I watched a movie, a series of movies called The Gamers,
Okay.
which it's cool. It's the same group of dudes that does like independent films.
Okay.
And they're essentially the first 2 are about playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's cool because the first one they made in college, it's all right. It's for college kids, it's pretty good. But,
Okay.
like, it's not the best. And then the second one, you're like, oh, they found all their problems.
Oh, they figured
and
it
fixed
out.
them. And then by the third one, you're like, you guys are great. So you get
All
to
right.
see these kids discover their art through.
Oh, that's
through films.
interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the third one, the first 2, it's them playing Dungeons and Dragons, then it switches back and forth from their characters.
I remember
Yeah.
discovering this when we were very young.
Yeah, because we had a similar idea, and then someone's like, "Nah, it's been done," and we gave up on it.
Yeah. They didn't. They made it two
now
more
they-
times.
Now they're super successful. But the third one is like a narrative, like it's an actual movie. They do a little bit of they play a card game. It's basically Legend of the Five Rings, which is a big Gen Con game I
Okay.
used to play. But they call it Romance of the Nine Empires, I think, R9E instead of L5R.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But as they play the card games, they have actors act out like what's going on in the card game,
Okay.
which is it's clever and it's really cool. And I used to play L5R, and I've gone to Gen Con to play L5R, so it felt very nostalgic for me.
Okay.
But it's a cool flick.
Netflix? Or
I think it's on YouTube.
oh, okay.
So you just
You
watch
stole
it.
it? Gotcha.
Yeah, I just downloaded it. You could download almost anything illegal.
Yeah.
Let me spoil some Game of Thrones.
No,
That would be very
Okay.
mean.
I'm actually realizing that we're a little bit short on time, so I'm actually going to throw it back to Vlad and ask
Okay.
if he has anything he's been reading or gaming that he super wants to talk about.
Oh, both. Okay. So if you like Game of Thrones and you are tired of waiting for the book and now it's pointless because show is going
Yeah.
to
Has
complete
spoiled it.
Download the episodes illegally.
Ken Liu has a book. It's the Dandelion Dynasty. The first one is called The Grace of Kings. I read it about a year ago. The second one is out now. I just got it from the library. It is a fantasy setting in kind of a pan-Asian fantasy world, and it is awesome.
What is it
Yeah.
called? I'm gonna write this down right now.
It's called
I've been
The
looking
Grace
for.
his phone.
It's called The Grace of Kings. You could flatten out a poster with it. It's very thick, but it is gorgeous and evocative and beautiful. And it's somewhere in between, like low and high fantasy.
Okay.
There are airships,
I
but
do like an
Okay.
airship.
it is a little. I've heard it described as like silk punk, but I don't know if there is
Silk
any like.
punk.
it-
Not quite steampunk.
It's
but
I
a
don't,
softer
I don't
version.
know if there's any punk, like.
Well, if there's
in
an
that
airship, it's
magic-
definitely
yeah,
punk.
Yeah.
But
It's a punk you can wrap yourself in. And
it
feel, and
is
feel
it
comfortable.
is gorgeous and evocative, and the first book is kind of a story of two men who rebel together, who become bitter enemies,
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
and they are brothers. They are brothers in the rebellion, and they become each other's greatest rival, and it is so good and clever, and the sequel to it came out bang like a year later, like literally like
Okay.
maybe like 14 months
I
later. So
don't
this dude gets books done.
That's not possible.
Like, so if you want
What?
a good, that's why I invest. Like, I knew he's won Hugo Awards, Nebula. He's won all the major writing awards for fantasy
Books
and fiction.
take somewhere between 7 to forever years.
Yeah.
Yes, and so this dude, it's out. Like, he gets it done. Ken Liu, it's Liu. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but
You're
It's-
forgiven.
it's really, really, really good. So
Yeah, that sounds right. I know that name.
if you like fantasy, you will like these books. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because I have not started it, I just get the second one from the library, but I'm pretty sure like it picks up with the children of all the characters of the first book, like
That's cool.
grown.
I
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
And so, like, yes, it's when they say like epic fantasy, this book is epic, and it will grab you like from the first chapter.
Oh,
So
all right.
Cool.
Add
that's
it
my
to the
recommendation
list.
for reading.
And have you been playing anything good?
A lot of 5e, Dungeons and Dragons.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Because I found a new group that is awesome DM, and a lot of Overwatch lately because I have a friend on the West Coast who is like obsessed.
Who do you main?
Oh,
Zarya? Oh, you would.
Bastion. Yep.
It's amazing that you like that robot, but you hate Razorhawk so much.
You are really going to give people a complex.
Mostly Vlad.
Razorhawk, you are awesome. Don't listen to this guy. I don't know why he picks on his podcast guests. I did this as a personal favor to Scott Holiday. I've never even met this dude before. They call me like 20 minutes before.
Very last minute.
Terrible. I would say my biggest I like to play is Bastion. I do Mercy a lot because I don't mind playing healer.
Yeah,
And
I do Lucio when I.
Oh yeah, he is hard for me to be effective with. I much prefer Mercy.
She's a better healer. I can't just heal. I get bored. And Lucio handles my ADD well. I can just skate around with him.
And I have a very specific Sombra strategy for certain maps, but it's
Okay.
very successful.
She's tough to use.
You just all you got to do, lock out the health pack, the big health pack, the closest one to you, to your objective. Put a little teleporter down there. Ghost yourself. Run out and cause 17 seconds of mayhem, and then no matter where you are health-wise, before that teleporter goes down, you teleport right back to the health pack. And if you get caught and they're spraying you down, you just go out there and do as much damage as you can until you have enough time to help. And people hate it because you stay alive. If you when it's played well, if you can go around and get a couple of the other health packs, like when it's played
like
well, people
Tracer times
hate it.
20.
It's a very specific like pattern of movement, but you will stay alive forever, and everybody will be very mad at you.
Are you playing on Xbox or you playing on PlayStation?
PlayStation 4, baby.
All right.
I was Xbox man until the new generation of consoles, and as you know, I like the color white. I look good in white pants. You know what I mean? Like it's classy.
Goes well with gold, which
Yeah,
you
it goes
seem to
well
be a
with
fan
gold.
of.
Yep, big fan. This is like Russian goes to the store. This
Yeah,
is
no,
being
I-
dressed up. Yeah, so, but they had a white Destiny PlayStation, so it looked like a beautiful PlayStation with this like gold. And I had to have it, so
Yeah.
I went.
Sounds like-
I switched because of aesthetics.
Just set the room off better.
Yeah, it really did.
All right, we'll have to trade usernames on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, it'll be good. I have a friend in California. You know, it's based on region, like your groupings. It does
Really?
matter, like geographically. You're more likely to get paired with people closer to you because it makes games faster.
Mm-hmm.
So he is on the West Coast. So when we play together with his friends, he is friends with he made a bunch of Overwatch online friends, and they're mostly like teenagers with crazy reflexes. So it's like we just join up with them. It's like, oh, thank you for carrying us old men to win. We appreciate you.
Needed the self-esteem there.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, people with better eyesight and and fast twitch muscles.
So we like to geek out on this show. Oh, no, we
Oh,
did
me
the
too.
geek out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We end all of our podcasts with a game. It's time
Okay.
for host versus guest versus audience. This week.
No,
Oh,
I don't think we need that.
Oh, we
yeah, I'm
should.
sorry. We forgot. We had a new pre-show. that
Our
we needed to announce.
producer
Yeah, our producer just
my
reminded us.
amazing performance.
Yeah.
dangling a SNE or a NES controller
Yes.
in front of Noah, and I didn't know what it was for.
We are now making all of our guests play the
Is he trying to
Nintendo
lure
World
us into a trap?
Championships without warning. Vlad
Yeah,
had
we don't
no
tell
Yep,
him.
idea.
no, Rowan, I had no time to
I
prepare.
was like, sit down and you play this game. So we have Vlad's score here, which is 109,290 points, putting him in first place.
That seems like a
one
high
of
number.
one, baby.
Yes, in the Nintendo World Championships. I did play before we like to test it, and I did not score that high.
Yeah.
So, Vlad, you are number one. You're bringing it home to Mother Russia right now. I mean, you've been in America for so long.
America is my home. I am
Yeah, I
an
know.
American.
But you don't sound
I'm a
like
Russian.
one.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Can we say that you're Russian so we can say it's a World
It
Championship?
really
though?
depends on the time of the day. Okay, it's fine. Yes,
right,
it's
cool.
like that WWE thing where it's like, oh, they're from here, even though they're they're not from there. Oh, probably cut that for disparaging.
Edit point.
Edit point there. Sorry about that.
But we do like to end all of our podcasts with a game. It's time for host versus guest versus audience. This week, we found this. I thought we had gotten rid of this,
Yeah.
but this was apparently buried in our prize
I
crate.
think all our prizes are cursed, and
Yeah.
we can't get
Ooh,
rid of them.
prize great.
This is a Rick Grimes pop figurine, which I really thought was gone, but it is back, and there it is.
It's really starting to become a collector's item
Yeah.
because we've had it so long.
Vlad, what did you bring?
Oh, I have.
Oh, he's digging into a bag.
I have my brand new international party boy Vlad Radinov T-shirt in the nice, what I like to call the Soviet colors.
It is red and gold.
And I brought one in every size to be on safe side.
All right,
That's a
excellent.
pretty
For whoever
rocking
wins.
shirt.
That is a rockin' shirt. I love the Party Czar shirt. Pretty good. So are we blocking the cameras? Okay. All right. Cameras. We're not used to them yet. To play host versus guest versus audience, we need an audience member, but they need to bring a prize for us to win since we brought such amazing prizes. What
Wait,
you
do I
guys
win my own
bring?
shirt back?
You
What?
could
Yeah, you can win
potentially
your
win
own
your
shirt.
shirt.
You're defending
Sweet.
your shirt.
All right.
Yeah.
What
You don't
get-
want these people to have that shirt.
No.
It's too nice.
Exactly. What you guys bring this week? I see some sort of Spider-Man figurine, and it is that is it.
You got a
You
hat?
you have a hat?
Trash from your
That's
house
what
is
I bring.
exactly what you should be bringing.
Give us the trash in your house.
Yes. And
That is a nice hat.
That is a nice
Beautiful.
hat.
Did you knit that hat?
It's got a flower on it. It's
We're gonna
very
say you
pretty.
did.
I'll wear that hat.
It's a
That's
lovely
a nice
hat.
hat.
It is up to Vlad. Vlad, would you like to play for the Spider-Man figurine
Or that
or
nice,
that
nice
hat?
I'm gonna go with the hat. I gotta go with the hat.
Hat, come on up here.
I'm a bald man and need some
Yeah, that'll keep
protection.
your head warm in this very cold
Oh, yeah.
summer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, see, I don't know how any of this works.
They don't
See,
have chairs
put
in
all-
Russia?
There, no. Sit on the floor.
Oh.
They have
My
one
family
chair
did.
they line up to sit
Just
in.
sit in.
Ha ha. Everybody is Yakov Smirnov.
I was quoting Glow. That is a line from Glow.
Sure, okay. That was good too. I like that.
Yeah, I like
On
Glow.
helps.
Turn it on. Introduce yourself, audience member.
I'm Katie.
Hi, Katie. Welcome
Hello.
back on the
Katie.
show.
Thank
It's
you.
great that immediately after this, we're going to make you play the video game. So
Sounds good.
We'll have you compete against Vlad again.
Oh, wow.
We're going to
A
play
hat.
I like that.
Google Feud. I'm going to give you part of a Google search, and I will have the top 10 autocompletes to that Google search. You want to give me the number one autocomplete.
His feet.
It is. It is quite the feat.
No,
Ooh.
no, that's not what I said.
Mm. Mm.
This is weird.
Let's.
Stop making those noises
I'm
after he says feet.
I might just hit refresh so we don't have to do this one.
Oh, was it about feet?
I told you.
All
I
right,
win.
Here we go.
Hat and
No,
Rick are mine.
You know what? Cooler minds are going to prevail here, and we're going to go ahead and refresh that. All right. Ooh, this is interesting.
Everything on the internet is now.
Will, we'll start with you. Everyone will get a chance to answer every question. Will, how do you fake a...
It's orgasm. That is the answer to that one.
All right. Not
You know
on
I
there.
work for a
may,
PG
may have
company,
spelled that wrong.
For what company?
But you know I work for a PG company, right?
Oh, this is a PG show. PG.
Vlad, how do you fake a...
Identity.
Identity. Not on there. Katie?
A cold.
A cold.
That's a good
All
one.
right, the Ferris Bueller
Yeah,
method
you gotta
here.
lick those palms.
That is the number 7 episode
Whoa.
answer. Good for 4,000 points.
That's pretty arbitrary.
Number 10 is sickness. Number 9 is doctor's note.
Ooh, that's a
Sickness, I
good
was gonna go with
question.
sickness.
8 is Snapchat.
Is
Hey.
passport on there?
How do you
I
fake a
don't-
Snapchat?
How do you fake a Snapchat?
I don't
Cold
understand.
pregnancy test.
I don't know.
Smile. How do you fake a smile?
Mm.
Drug test. Seizure. College degree.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's easy. You just print it out.
And the number 1 answer, death.
I was thinking death.
How do you fake a death?
Wow.
Vlad, we're going to start with you this time.
That is bleak, and I'm Russian.
So Katie has 4,000 points.
Okay?
The guys are scoreless. Vlad, we're
I
going to
don't
start
want
with
this
you.
hat anymore.
No, you're
Uh,
gonna get that floor garbage.
You're going to get it. You're going to put that garbage back in your house.
Vlad, should I sell my... Should I sell my...
Do I want to win or do I want to give a funny answer? Because win, I would put car, and funny, I would put child.
Ooh.
Sorry, that's not.
Well, you've already said the funny answer, so you can go for the win answer.
Yeah.
The win answer would be car. Should I
Car?
sell my car?
Should I sell my car? That is the number 3 answer. Good
Nice.
for 8,000
Booyaka,
points.
booyaka.
Katie, should I sell my...
Copy of Earthbound with manual and package.
Ooh, yes, to me
Specific.
for nothing.
Copy of Earthbound
I don't think that's going
With-
to be there.
with...
I don't think so anymore
Yeah, I
either.
don't it's not there.
I
What do
was,
you know?
I was so confident.
Good confidence, though.
Yeah.
Will, should I sell my
House.
house? It's It's a buyer's market
I
out
swear
there.
to God, if
It
that's
is
two.
the number one answer. Good for
Yeah.
10,000.
Give me that floor
points.
garbage.
Number 9 was Wii U.
Yes, you should.
Number 9 is Bonds.
Okay.
Yeah, number
Boring.
8 is Bond Funds.
Mm-hmm.
Same answer.
Same.
Yeah.
Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Ford stock, house or rent it,
That many people balling out on Ford stuff?
I guess. Then car, stocks, and house.
Oh, stocks is too. That was good.
Yes,
A
so
lot
that
of these
is
answers
I
are
don't
way
have
more
any
grown up than
stocks.
I give the
10,000
internet
for
credit
Will.
for.
Vlad has 8,000. Katie has 4,000.
Everybody
This
on
is
the
the
board.
closest game
Yeah.
of this I've ever played. Ooh. Katie, this is the final round.
Oh boy.
I cheated on my girlfriend with...
I want to answer this one first.
Can I
Unfortunately,
yield to
Katie,
Vlad?
Katie gets first one. What is it?
Oh. I really want to yield to Vlad.
You want to yield to Vlad?
Yeah, I need a minute.
This is toughy, but I'm going to go with
I guess we're allowing it.
Yep, yield to Vlad.
her best friend.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Her best friend. Not on there.
No.
That is impossible. I swear to God, if it's sister, I'm leaving.
That's what I was
So
thinking
it's-
after.
Katie, what do you think?
The question is,
I cheated on my girlfriend with... I don't know why you would Google this.
I,
Like
What happens now? Do I
What do
just
I do,
die?
Google? Google comes back with, yup.
Do I
just-
disintegrate?
You sure did.
Do
Oh,
I
you're
grow
a-
an extra toe?
You're a scumbag. How about
Yeah.
that?
Congratulations.
What do you think, Katie?
her mother.
Woo, I like
Wow.
that.
That's going to be there
That's
because
spicy.
people are gross.
Her
No, well, what if her mom's
mother.
hot?
Not there.
Wow.
How?
How many auto responses are there?
There's
don't
got to be
know.
like entire Reddits devoted to these subjects.
Exactly.
Banging your girlfriend's mom? r/.
PG. Work for a PG company. Gonna get fired. I'm
Oh,
basically
you
Mickey
were fired
Mouse,
already
okay?
from all the Razorhawks.
Yeah.
Cheated
Oh
on
my
my
God.
girlfriend
All
with
that
a
has to come out.
Pokemon.
I swear.
This podcast is going to be like 6
One
minutes.
If we could take out like half.
Will?
With I really thought best friend was gonna be on there. Did we say your sister?
Her sister. All right.
Yeah, we'll do that. No, I hope
That is the number 3 answer. Good for 8,000 points.
Her
Wait a minute.
sister. Oh,
Her
God.
best friend. Maybe I put
you
best.
spelled best wrong, huh?
I may have made best friend one word. So best friend is on there. That's good for 1,000 points. My cousin. I cheated on my girlfriend with my
Oh
cousin.
my god.
Bоже mой.
Yeah, but is it your first cousin?
It doesn't say. A coworker, her cousin, a prostitute, her mom. It is on there.
Good.
many
Everybody was right. And gross.
Uh,
I don't know why I'm excited. I don't want
my
this to
friend, her sister, a guy,
Ooh.
and
Spicy.
my
Ooh,
ex.
spicy.
But that means, with 18,000 points,
The highest ever.
Will is our winner.
Will, you won, man.
Yes.
Floor garbage.
Get that hat. Put it on. We'll never get rid of Rick Grimes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And it works now that we have cameras.
No.
Thank you so much to Katie. Thanks for coming up here. Give it up for Katie. Yay.
Thank you. Bye.
You win short.
Yes. You got a whole outfit out of this.
Yay.
Vlad, we have to get out of here. Anything you want to plug?
Yes, I would like to plug that. When will this go out? It doesn't matter.
No one listens to it. Doesn't matter.
Razorhawk does.
I'm
Not
screwed.
anymore.
Yeah, bye. I cut out the screw to edit point.
You've lost us 33% of our listening audience.
I'm going to plug that we are going to on September. Oh, I should know this, and I am a bad man. For Labor Day weekend, we are going to be in Wolverhampton, England, at Starworks for King of Trios 2017, and it is the 10th King of Trios. It is the biggest tournament in professional wrestling, and you can see us live there if you go to CHIKARATix.com. That is King of Trios, September 1, 2,
There it
and
is.
3. Finally got it on my phone.
You're
1,
really
2, 3,
building
the
up to
first
it.
3 numbers. I'm terrible at my job. King of Trios, chikaratics.com. I'm on Twitter at thepartyzar.com, and occasionally I also have a Big Cartel store. Occasionally I put up ring gear and T-shirts and things there, so you can find it at Vlad Radinov, bigcartel.com.
And you returned to Philly, what, the 30th, I believe, at the Wrestle Factory?
That's correct. September 30th for Tooth and Claw, and that's a 3 p.m. bell time, and that is at the Wrestle Factory. And I had to memorize that for a show, so I already know it.
Perfect. Will, anything to add?
Yeah, pineapples regenerate. You can plant pineapple leaves to grow a new plant, and pineapples contain the bromelain enzyme, which can break down protein so you can use them to tenderize meat. And this has been 2 quick facts about pineapples.
Bringing back this segment, eh?
Pretty cool.
People send them to me.
I thought you said no one listens to this.
I guess
They
that was
want their
wrong.
pineapple.
Promises were made.
But they wouldn't do it until it was anonymous. So I guess they were ashamed of the
Of
pineapple
all the things
or
they
of
know
listening to
about
the podcast.
Be sure to give us 5 stars on iTunes, 5 stars on Stitcher. Vote for us on podcastland.com. Make us the podcast of the month. You can also listen to us on Wildfire Radio. Upcoming shows include on the 24th, we're going to have Rick Feinberg-Connors on the show from Wrestle Rock Radio. And as always, we would like to thank Ben Affleck for making the show possible and keeping the streets of Gotham City safe. This is the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having me.
There
If
it
I'm
is.
going to get fired, I'm glad it was having so much fun.